coach. I'm going to teach you some tried and tested advice that I give to clients who are looking to transform in self-confidence. People who are looking for big changes in life, changing career, changing as a person. Things which aren't easy, things which are hard fought and hard earned. The first tip is to get yourself a support network. Getting around people who have your back, genuinely believe in you as a person. The belief that others have in you will rub off on your own belief in yourself. You'll start to see yourself the way that other people are seeing you. And the more confident you'll get, the more potential you've got to keep on growing in confidence. Because confidence breeds more confidence. It's a bit like a snowball that's rolling and it's gathering more and more snow. You don't need to have a giant support network. Just a bunch of, say, 3 close friends who you can talk to, get things out that are bothering you, and just have a really good connection. It's going to make you feel normal for being yourself. It's going to kill those self-doubts, the doubts that you're not enough, the doubts that you're broken or something's wrong with you. It'll make you feel like you're welcome, you belong, you fit in. And if currently you're lacking that support system in your life, I've been in that same boat. I've created a community to give people that. Actually, I've created 2 communities. In Birmingham, I do a coffee social every single month and have been doing for the past few years. And it's grown in attendance over time organically. So there's 50 people in a room who all have social anxiety or have had social anxiety and have been building confidence themselves over the years. People that are into personal development, people that are committed to improving their life. If you get around these people and you're on the same path, you're going to find it easy to fit in and connect. You don't have to put on an act, pretend to be something you're not, create an image, none of that. You can literally just turn up, be yourself, and get that support. I also have a second community, which is recent. It's in Birmingham again. And we're going to meet up 3 Sundays a month in the morning and go for a 30-minute run, followed by a 1-hour coffee social. So I've created a few communities to give people access to connections, contacts, other people. And there's just so much value in going somewhere where you feel that you fit in. You feel free to be yourself, talk about whatever you want to talk about, and you know that you're going to be listened to. There's people in the room which will relate to you. So you're also going to feel understood as well. And this brings me to a second great piece of advice for building true self-confidence. This is to be yourself. Super key. If you're not being yourself, you're actually damaging your own self-confidence. Because why would you not be yourself? The only reason you would not be yourself is if you didn't think it was safe to be yourself. You didn't think you was good enough to be yourself. And you came to this false conclusion that you have to be someone else to get by in life. So when you're not being yourself, you're actually self-harming. When you are being yourself, it supports the belief that you're already enough. You don't need to change. You don't need to try and impress people. It requires courage, bravery, to be that vulnerable, where you're actually being yourself and you're genuinely connecting with people. But this is what it takes to build that real sense of confidence. Because the only constant in your life is you. And your confidence has to be based on something concrete. So your confidence, true confidence, has to come from confidence in yourself. And the more you be yourself, the more you collect the evidence that you're enough just as you are. And you basically feed that narrative. So we all have these two narratives in our mind. One narrative is that we're not enough as we are. The second narrative is that we are enough. And when you're being yourself, automatically you feed that story that you're already enough. So joining a community where it's easy to be yourself and practicing being honest with people in all areas of life, more honest than you usually would be. Both of these behavioral changes, lifestyle changes, will lead to growth in confidence. The third piece of advice, which always works for clients, works for me as well. This is to get fit and healthy. Doing cardio, improving your overall health. There's so much that you're going to get from entering this journey of getting fit and healthy. A lot of discipline required to overall have a well-balanced diet, to take up running, bike riding, exercise classes, doing a sport, whatever feels right for you. It takes a lot. You're going to develop these personal qualities and tools. And as your resting heart rate is going down, your fitness is increasing, your confidence will also increase. You're going to feel good about being yourself and have a natural buzz about you. And the great thing with health and fitness is that it goes hand in hand with anxiety. Complements it really, really well. So if you're someone that suffers with anxiety, you're going to get the most from health and fitness, especially cardio. just going for a 20-minute run, a 30-minute run can make a massive difference. And this is also one of the reasons why I've created this running group and coffee social community, because cardio works. If you can combine these things, you can do regular cardio like running. You can get yourself into communities where you can be yourself. You're going to have a much easier time building self-confidence. You don't get confidence from reading books and consuming content. You get knowledge and tools and guidance from consuming content and reading books. But confidence is something which is earned in the real world through experience. And there's no other way to get there. You can't go around the fire. You have to walk straight through the fire. Facing your own social fears. Social fears of actually being yourself. Making eye contact with people and truly connecting. Not trying to impress people. The strength to be kind and take responsibility. Having boundaries. Being kind to other people and also kind to yourself. If you can focus on this, overcoming the fear, and hi Tyrone, yep, I definitely I enjoy the live streams. One of the reasons that I really like them is because I don't need to think of something in advance. I like to improvise anyway, and it's quite convenient. Rather than finding somewhere to set up a camera, I can just turn my phone sideways and put it on a stand and set up a live stream really, really fast. And I was saying that one of the tips to help people build more confidence is to have a good support network in their life. So you have people who might not believe in you. So you took the day off today because of mental health. I hear you. And when you're around people who might not listen to you, they might not understand you, it can be quite frustrating. And this is why it's nice to balance that out by getting around people who you can really talk to. People who are actually going to listen, and people who can connect to what you're saying and relate. So if anybody is struggling with this, you need to do what you need to do. So you're saying that it's the first time in forever, in ages, that you've had to take a day off for this reason. And from time to time, we do go through these challenges. And it's when you're in a good state and things are going well, it's easy to forget that there will be times where you go through some challenges. You can fall into the trap of thinking that the state that you're in right now is permanent and isn't going to change. But this is actually never true on the plus side. So it's your first time in a year, and you're right. We all need support from people. And I know this from my own mistakes. Before receiving coaching and building a support network, I had a lot of social anxiety, and I was trying to overcome it just by myself. I was on my own personal journey, and I was taking the lone wolf approach to solving my problems. And through brute force and lots of action taking and painful struggling, I made some progress. But when I had the help and support, it was just 10 times easier and I made a lot more progress. And when I realized the value of this, that's when I started to put on events and try to build communities to help people out so that other people have access to the same ingredients to help them achieve whatever is right for them. And it's normal to have down days, even down weeks or a down month. You might have a month in life where you just struggle. And it's hard to face the day, it's a challenge. You might feel that you're suffering, but then you will overcome it and you will get to a stage where things feel fine again. It's just that your body needs time to catch up, process events. And this is why your body and your mind is telling you that I need to rest. I need some time to heal. And I'm sorry to hear that. So you have sadness coming up from the past, reminders of people that you've lost, which is never easy. And often it's a combination of factors that can send someone into a negative spiral where they're not feeling so great. And if several things happen at once, it can overwhelm a person. So having rest, processing, getting around good people that you can talk to, this makes a massive difference. And when you have the right setup in your life, it will just feel easier. There's still going to be struggles, but you'll struggle a lot less. You'll feel a lot stronger. And something that I've been focusing on recently. So I've been receiving business coaching, which I've really enjoyed on a weekly basis. And I'm aware that it's coming to an end. And because I'm in the job, the area, therapy, coaching, and all this stuff, it's important for me to have people that I can talk to outside of my actual official coaching sessions. I do have some friends here and there, but it's nice to have people who you can really talk to, people who are good listeners, just so you can get out things that might be bothering you, and vice versa. So working on the personal support network, this helps out people massively. And I've been encouraging clients that I've been coaching in recent times to do this. When you have that support, it's just so much easier. Doesn't mean that you're not going to go through challenges, but having someone you can talk to them about is going to stop them from overwhelming you and help keep things in perspective. And that's why, as well as doing the monthly coffee socials and doing running ones as well. So you said in that message there that people have told you that you've changed a lot in the past year and you've found extra courage to deal with things on your own. And that is a sign of growth. The fact that you're handling things now that the past you might have struggled to handle. That's awesome. That is growth. And what I'm saying is that help and support is important at times because you never know what struggle you might go through. So we can handle most things on our own, but there can be unexpected events unexpected challenges. And I think having that safety net of a support network, just someone that you can talk to every couple of weeks, it actually gives you motivation to go further. So, and just to clarify there so that I understand you right, are you saying you need a break from other people, or you need a break from being by yourself? Because it's a balance. I always think you certainly need a break from people um, at times where you're just drained. You spend too much time with people. You're feeling tired. Um, there's times you need that space and me time. That's really, really important. Um, I love having some me time. And you're saying, okay, you're saying you need a break from keeping things to yourself and bottling them up, and it's important to reach out. I get that. And so I don't know if I've not checked my WhatsApp messages since yesterday evening. Um, but as I said, if you want to meet up once a month and um, go for a coffee, fruit juice, some food, have a nice chat, then certainly we can do that. Just as I said in my message, I think it's just healthy for people to have that in their life. And it's quite nice when it's someone from the outside. Um, there's no family ties to that person, just someone a bit separate who you can have a proper conversation with and you can talk to them about anything. So helpful, so valuable. And I try to do that through my coaching and also by doing the events and building communities. Um, people start to form friends and they develop that support network. It just gives people that extra strength, and probably one of the best things about it is that it speeds up emotional processing. Okay, so you had a very difficult, triggering phone conversation yesterday. So it sounds like a lot of the time you're on the receiving end of hearing things that are triggering, and then you have to process that information. And it's nice to be on the flip side where you can just talk about these things, get the emotions out there, and not worry about having to process stuff. But yeah, I get it. It can be challenging. Um, I always find that exercise can help. Going for a run, getting on the bike. So exercising helps with that situation. Talking to good, supportive people and time as well. There probably is different actions that you can take as well to give meaning to the triggering event, difficult situation. Oh, that's sorry to hear that. So the thing the person was talking to you about was triggering severe anxiety, which isn't nice. When you're panicking, you're afraid. Um, yeah, I've been in those places before, genuinely. I've had severe anxiety in the past, so I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I do know that it takes a bit of time um, to learn to not panic, to learn to calm down, and to not be so affected by this information. That's a process that, as I said, it does take time. conversations with people, not focusing on the fear too much, getting things in balance, looking after yourself. Yeah, life can be tricky at times. And there's also periods of times where you're plain sailing and things just feel easier as well. A bit of both. Yeah, so she was telling you things that made you really, really, really angry. And perhaps, obviously, I wasn't there. I don't know the situation, what was said, how it was said, but there's also an art form in telling people information in a way that doesn't overwhelm them. So perhaps this person went a bit too far. They didn't read the fact that it was making you angry, um, and that just left you a bit overwhelmed. But yeah, um, whenever something challenges your beliefs about yourself or the world around you, important people in it, that's when you feel triggered. And when you get to a stage where that information itself doesn't bring up emotions and fear, you feel calm about it, that's when you've overcome the trigger. And the unfortunate thing is that you can't magic your way there. There's no secret. There's no easy shortcut. But the best thing that I know to do in that situation is firstly to rest up and look after yourself. Secondly, to have some conversations with good people who have your back. And thirdly, to do some exercise, some things that are good for you as an outlet to release that energy. And then just being okay with the fact that it can take time to process triggering information. But I know that you can overcome this, but it may take some time. I can't say how long it's going to take, unfortunately, but it is possible to overcome it. I believe you will. Um, I don't know what the information is, but I think you can overcome any trigger. Yeah. So someone up there, so the person apologized afterwards, but still, um, you're still going to feel angry because even though they apologized afterwards, the information that they said before still triggered you. And as we all know, you can't just turn emotions off and on like a tap. Now you've been told that information, you have to process it. So it's okay to feel angry, and the way that you feel is proportionate to the situation based on what you've experienced. But yeah, sorry to hear that you're going through this challenge right now. But the great thing is, you've changed so much over this past year, grown a lot, gained a lot of courage, and building on that support network will help you get stronger in the face of future challenges. So you can view this as a turning point where you decide, you know what, I would like to have a nice support network. And as a result of this challenge, you can protect your future self from similar situations. Yeah, of course, you've got a right to feel the way that you feel right now, and yeah, absolutely. So, as I said, I've not checked my WhatsApp just yet, but I'll check my WhatsApp and and just as I said in the message, we can have a nice chat and we can talk more in depth, more properly, um, whether it's a video call or whether we meet up Birmingham, even Wolverhampton. I've been there a couple of times now. I'm easygoing. So, yeah, for sure, we'll have a proper chat about this. And I reckon that after the chat, you'll feel at least a bit better. If nothing else, you'll feel a bit better. You'll feel on the right path and on the road to overcoming this. So what I'm going to do now, I have enough time. Yeah, absolutely. You get back when it's right for you. You had a lot going on. I would never rush somebody to reply to a message. But yeah, um, so I'll have to end this live stream now because I have a coaching session later on and I've got enough time to get a run in, my cardio, treat myself to the sauna, and then coach a client in Harborne, Birmingham. So if you're watching this and you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. If you want to join future live streams, if you got value from this video, feel free to hit like. And if you're interested in joining my communities or private one-to-one coaching, just drop me an email and I'll be in touch. Until next time, have an awesome rest of your day.